Welcome into the show. I'm Dan McLaughlin. Tonight, it's a show dedicated to two Hall of Famers. The greatest defensive shortstop in baseball history, the Wizard Ozzie Smith. It's hard to believe, but it's been 40 years since his World Championship team of 1982, and he has a special night coming up to celebrate that and to benefit our community. And speaking of giving back, Brad Davis, one of the best soccer players to come out of our town, is giving back by running the Gallagher Soccer Program. Recently, he was inducted into the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. We start, though, with baseball. 1982 was a special year here in St. Louis as it all came together under Whitey Herzog. The Cardinals won their division, beat the Braves in the playoffs, then won the World Series in 7 games over the Brewers. Well, there's a special night being put together by Ozzie Smith coming up, which will include his infield teammates from that season. February 17th, Ozzie and Friends presents Celebration. Ozzie, Keith Hernandez, Tommy HERR, and Ken Oberkfell at Ballpark Village to benefit the Gateway PGA Reach Foundation. So let's bring in the Hall of Famer. Ozzie, it is always wonderful to see you. How are things going?
I'm doing good, Danny. How are you?
Well, I'm doing great as well. 40 years ago was the world champion St. Louis Cardinals. Is it hard to believe that it has been 40 years since that championship?
Where did the time go? And, it's always nice to be able to look back. I'm always asked, did you appreciate it as much as when you were doing it? And as a player, when you play every day, you're doing your job, so I don't know if you have time to really appreciate it. But when you have success like we did in 1982, 1985, and 1987, it's nice when you look back and look at the achievements that you had and the teammates that you had. And I had some wonderful teammates starting in 82 here all the way through 1996 when I retired, and now having an opportunity 40 years later to put together a group of guys who we achieved a lot of things together, and probably one of the best infields I've ever had the opportunity of playing with Ken Oberkfell, Tommy HERR, and Keith Hernandez and myself. The 82 group was probably one of the most talented groups that I had a chance to play with here in St. Louis.
When you think about your individual accomplishments, the Gold Gloves, the Hall of Fame, is the team accomplishment of 82 at the top of your list?
Well, it is, and simply from the standpoint of what we were able to achieve as a team. We were able to win it all as a team. Now, we were good in 85 and we were good in 87, but we weren't able to bring it all home. So the fact that we were able to win it all in 1982 is the thing that I think separates the 85 from 82 and 87 from 82.
Well, we all know it's all about offense in this day and age of baseball. I've said that the 82 infield was the best defensive infield maybe in the history of the game. So would you agree with that assessment?
Well, having been a part of it and looking back at it now and watching baseball, and we have a great infield here in St. Louis right now, probably one of the most talented since the 82 team. But I'm going to be biased here and say that having had the opportunity to play with someone who I consider one of the best first basemen in the game, who saves you so much on each and every play, Keith Hernandez, by far, to me, was one of the greatest first basemen to ever play. And the reason that I say that is he was able to cover ground from first base all the way to the third base line, which now takes a lot of the pressure off of the pitcher. He wasn't afraid to throw to any base, and that made it fun. We were able to turn what looked like a disastrous situation into something very successful, and it was because of his daring and his willingness to put it all on the line. And it made it easy to play, and I think it made it easy for the manager too, when you can have a player at first base on bunt plays and having to throw to other bases. Having someone who's fearless, as Keith was, is what made him so great.
What did it mean to you to see Keith go into the Cardinals Hall of Fame this past summer?
It was great. I think it was well deserved. Came a little bit later than it should have, but he's in his rightful place. And I think that he would probably tell you that his heart has always been here. He had to go somewhere else and play and had some success in New York, but most of his success came right here in St. Louis.
So what did it mean to you to see Jim KATT of that '82 team get into Cooperstown, baseball's Hall of Fame?
Here again, better late than never. And for Jim, it took a long time, but he finally made it. And I think Jim is probably one of the most deserving. When you look at some of the other people that are in the Hall of Fame right now, Jim certainly, his numbers certainly are deserving of him being in the Hall of Fame.
When you get these guys together, I've always said it, Oz, it's not a radio interview or a TV interview or show. You guys are having fun, kicking back, and when you get on stage, it's always fun. So what's it like when you guys get all back together in a night like this?
Well, it's neat because, we start reminiscing, and there are probably a lot of things that I've forgotten about, that each one of the guys have forgotten about, that Whitey, I'm sure, will remind us. So it's nice to be able to get back and have those memories, your memories jogged about some of the things that went on that we probably have forgotten over the 40 years.
Hey, Ozzie, hang tight. Coming up, how did Ozzie Smith get ingrained into the golf community of St. Louis? That's next on Scoops with Danny Mac here on Fox 2. Scoops with Danny Mac on Fox 2 is brought to you by Schnucks, Ryan Kelly, the home loan expert, Lou Fuse, Triad Bank, Lordo's Diamonds, your family's jeweler for life, and the Missouri Athletic Club, 2 clubhouses, 1 platinum club. Welcome back to Scoops with Danny Mac on Fox 2. A reminder, there's daily content on the website, scoopswithdannymac.com. Podcasts, features, articles. If you've missed Bernie Miklasz and his writing, you can see it all daily on scoopswithdannymac.com. Welcome back to the show on Fox 2. My guest is the Wizard, Ozzie Smith. Ozzie, you have the special night coming up on February 17th to benefit the Gateway PGA Reach Foundation. I'm very curious about this. How did golf become so important to Ozzie Smith? Obviously, you play it, you give back to that game as well as baseball, but how did that all start with golf for you?
Well, it started because I think that when you do something for 20 years and you decide to hang it up, there's a competitive void in your life. So you're looking for something to fill that void. And I think through golf, most of us gravitate to it because, first of all, you're competing against yourself, you're competing against the course and the people that you're playing against, knowing at the same time that you'll never reach that point of perfection. Golf is a game of imperfection. To me, it's a game of missing closer to give yourself a chance at a 5-foot putt rather than a 10-foot putt, and stuff. So with that in mind, it has allowed me now to take my platform from baseball and the notoriety and put it somewhere else. Growing up in Southern California, I was never exposed to the game of golf, let alone the business of golf, and now I'm able to allow kids the opportunity to experience not only the game of golf, but the business of golf, while at the same time keeping them in school. And one of the other most rewarding things for me is it started out as a youthful organization for the youth, but now it's expanded to PGA Hope, which is our veterans, people who have been forgotten, or people who have put their lives on the line. And we've been able through golf to give them a lot of these guys their lives back. They're able to get out again and enjoy life, and that's very rewarding.
Oz, you've done so much charitable work in this town. How does this one separate itself from the many others that you've been a part of over the years?
Well, it's being able to put your thumbprint on it from the beginning. When I was asked to do this, there were thoughts of going back to California and living, and they asked me to be the president. And Mike Murphy, who is now getting to the St. Louis, Missouri Golf Hall of Fame, had me come out to Whitey Herzog's golf tournament one day and hit a ball off the first tee. And from that day, I've been hooked on the game of golf and been trying to repeat that for 25, 30 years.
How many kids have come back to you and said, hey, thank you for what you've done for me because of golf. Now I'm able to thrive in the game of life. Because of golf, I had a connection here, or that led to something else productive. It helped with my education, whatever. But how many kids have come back to you and said something positive about what you've done with this?
Well, it's hard to put a number on the kids, but you know, Mac, even if you touch one, even if you touch one, and it's been many more than one that we've touched, that has come back to his neighborhood and is now a part of the neighborhood at reaching back and trying to help kids and give kids another alternative, you know, and that's what's important, is keeping the chain going so that people understand the importance of giving back. And like I said, if you can reach one, you know, then you've done your part. And I've always tried to be a part of the community in which I lived, and because I want to be able to be proud of the community in which I live.
You didn't have to do all the things that you have done and that you continue to do. So do you get more out of doing these types of fundraisers that maybe more so than you got out of being a player? A little crazy to maybe say that because of the success that you had.
Yeah, well, you know, it's nice to be able to be in a position and to be blessed enough to be able to have enough influence to where you can use your name to bring awareness to certain causes and so forth and so on. It's a continuation of what I've been blessed to do, you know. So for me, it's nothing more than spending. It doesn't cost me anything but a little time, and we have a lot of that.
So you came to St. Louis as a young man, you get off the plane, it's freezing cold. Now you live here year round, and you can live anywhere you want. Why do you stay here in St. Louis?
It's people, real simple. It's the people here, and they've been a big part of my life and my kids' life and stuff, and we love it here. All
right, finally, your handicap. Where are you at now, Ozzie? What's the handicap?
Probably at a 4, and I don't want to get any lower. Can't make any money, Mac. You know, but it's been one of the most challenging things that I've ever done. The game of golf. I spend my life hitting a ball that's moving, and now here's a ball that sits here and has a mind of its own.
So which is harder?
Well, you know, of course, hitting sliders and curveballs and changeups, a lot of sleepless nights. With golf, I do have a simulator downstairs so I can go down and work on it, and believe me, I work on it just as hard as I did with baseball, but it's taken a little longer to get it all together.
Thanks for everything you do, Ozzie.
Thank you.
And it should be a wonderful night to celebrate the 40th anniversary of the 1982 World Champions. Ozzie is simply the best. Coming up, Brad Davis, recently inducted into the St. Louis Soccer Hall of Fame. He's next on Fox 2. Scoops with Danny Mac on Fox 2 is presented by the Ascension Charity Classic, Stratum Structural Systems, Royal Banks of Missouri, Hair Saloon for Men, and Family Golf and Learning Center. Play your best. Welcome back to the show on Fox 2. Now, as many of you know, St. Louis is the soccer capital of the United States. There have been so many great players that have come, though, from this area in particular. That includes Brad Davis. He played on the international stage, a 6-time MLS All-Star, and now he's the president of the Scott Gallagher Soccer Club here in town. So let's bring in Brad Davis to the show, who is busy these days as the president of the Gallagher program, but we'll get into that in just a moment. First, Brad, thanks for coming on the show.
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for having me, Dan.
Well, I want to start with this. Recently, you went into the Soccer Hall of Fame here in St. Louis. What did that mean for you and your family?
It's hard to put into words. You know, being born and raised in St. Louis, this is a soccer city. It's a small niche community that now is blossoming. Being able to be put on the map. We'll probably talk about with the new soccer team coming into St. Louis in 2023. But to be a part of that history, that tradition of St. Louis soccer, and to be involved with the other names that are in St. Louis soccer, the Hall of Fame. Again, like I said, the history it's tough to put into words. It's a complete honor. It's humbling, and myself and my family, we're extremely honored by it.
It's well put. How much fun are you having now coming back home, still being involved with the game of soccer, and now running the Gallagher program?
I love it. It's if I'm being honest, there's been a ton of positives on it. There's also been challenges. I've been challenged in many different ways, from the technical side of the club to the business side of the club. But first and foremost, being able to come back and really try to make a difference in the kids' lives. Really my goal here is to be able to try and help create a fun, safe, challenging environment, and to try and provide a pathway and an opportunity for each kid to maybe get a piece, and hopefully maybe everything or even better opportunities than I got as I grew up here in this club, here in this city, and go on to do great things, whether it's in soccer or something different. We're trying to create good people on and off the field here. So being able to come back and really feel like you're making a difference in the younger age groups in regards to development is, like I said, it's been rewarding, but it's also been challenging. But it's something that I have a real passion for. I have children that are in this club, so it's not just something I do; it's something that I live as well. So to have that is great, and honestly, to be able to come back full circle and be a part of this organization, I'm extremely lucky, and I don't take it for granted.
I got to ask you, what's more satisfying, Brad Davis, the professional soccer player, or Brad Davis being the head of Gallagher? Seeing young kids get a scholarship or improve at the game of soccer, or because of the program they become a better citizen because of what you're offering?
That's very easy, what I'm doing now. I was able to have a good long career, support a family, travel the world, had great experiences, but to be able to come back and now wrap your arm around a young boy or young girl and to have them tell a story about their experiences, talk about my experiences, go through a training session. Kids are sponges, so to be able to have those conversations, be out on the field. The one thing that it has truly brought back to me is the joy of the sport. Why I loved it so much. Kids don't worry about the things on the high level, the professional level, all the things that go into it. They're out here because they love what they're doing at the moment, and that rubs off on you. It gives you a kind of a second life. I've been doing it for myself and for my family and for selfish reasons for so long, and now it's an opportunity to go ahead and give back to the community that provided me the opportunity to go on and do the things I was able to do.
When you look at what your club Gallagher offers, what separates this program from some of the others right now across the United States?
We really, honestly, Dan, there's a lot of great things that other clubs offer. We really focus internally on what we're trying to do, but truthfully what we've created here is a one-stop shop. If you want, a boys and girls programs, different tiered environments, from bottom to top. We have an environment that's going to challenge each kid, be safe, be fun, but there is a level for everybody here. We're not just a one-level organization. But literally, you can come into this club and we will be able to provide whatever it is you need from a soccer playing experience.
So how about this? When you look back at your career and think about the soccer being played in the city of St. Louis at that time, and now compare it to what we have now for kids, there are so many kids playing. There are so many that are talented. What's the difference?
It's night and day. It's night and day. Back when I was growing up, we had one team at each age group. Now we have multiple. The club has grown. It's blossomed. But the technical ability of the kids, the ability of the coaches, teaching has gotten better. Coaching development has gotten better. Staffing, it's again, back when I was growing up, it's a lot of parents coaching. Now the investment in the coaching aspect side of things. So everything has continued to raise its level, and in turn the players are going to continue to raise their level as we challenge ourselves internally to continue to get better, and we challenge our coaches to continually get better. We're always asking our kids for more and demanding of our kids when we're playing games and set standards, but we have to be able to look at ourselves and be able to set those standards internally for our own selves. And when we're able to do that, it's just going to continually raise the level of our organization as a whole.
Well, finally, pro soccer once again coming to St. Louis. What has this done for your program, Lou Fuse, the other top programs, in terms of the interest of the kids, the parents, the boys and girls that want to learn to play this great game?
I think it's going to be great. I mean, this city has been primed for this opportunity. I think everybody's extremely excited for this opportunity. St. Louis is always in the minds of people when there's serious soccer conversations going on. It started getting to the point where it's like, I can't believe St. Louis doesn't have a team. Can't believe St. Louis doesn't have a team. So what we've been able to build in this community without a soccer team has been truthfully amazing. The competitiveness, the names of the players that come out and go to college or go beyond college even is truthfully remarkable. So now that we have this coming in, I just really look forward to seeing what the even higher impact that this is going to have on our community, on our club, in soccer as a whole. I think it's just going to drive a whole nother level of excitement within our community, and we really are looking forward to it.
Again, congratulations on the Hall of Fame, and thanks for what you do for so many kids in our community.
Thank you, Dan. For
Brad Davis and Ozzie Smith, I'm Dan McLaughlin. For more St. Louis sports content, log on to the website scoopswithdannymac.com. And if you can't join us live 10:30 every Sunday night, remember, DVR the show. I'll see you next weekend here on Fox 2.